Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I am your host, Mary Ellen. This is the premiere episode of K3N Cloth Tales Weekly Slow Stitch 2024. You can find, I think her name is Catherine, at K3N Cloth Tales. And she is also on Instagram, I think under roughly the same name. And let's just jump right into it. So when I was putting my year ahead, I forgot entirely. I knew there was something that I needed to include, and that was I wanted to do some mindful stitching throughout the year, and so this seemed like a perfect opportunity. So week one is basically weaving with cloth. So for anybody who wants to sort of understand the principle, basically get a bunch of strips of fabric like this, and then do some cross weaving. And do I have another one? Basically, you're making an apple pie, but you're not using dough, you are using fabric. Here is another one, just random bits and pieces. And then that would be what you would stitch onto something else. So she is making a stitch book. We can keep them, we can do what we want. I think she is not going to travel out of her home country of France and audit everybody and sort of say, well, you know, you failed because you didn't follow the rules. I'm pretty sure that you can do whatever you want, you can make whatever you want. And these are just basically, what did I do? Messed it all up. Guidelines, and so make it small. You can make little squares for a quilt, you can make a wall hanging, and like I say, she has is planning to do a book. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. Pardon me, I'm going to blow my nose. So that's the principle. We will jump to what I've already done, which is this part. And so what have I done? So I have done it's probably about a 6x6. It's about a 6x6 weaving. And my weaving is based on strips of fabric that I have used, that I have sun-dyed. Saddened sage, probably sumac, buckthorn, walnut, might be something else, like a marigold or something. No idea. And then this is unsaddened sage. So to sadden sage, what you do is you do a sage dye like you would normally do, and at the very end, when you take the material out, you take that material and then you dunk it into an iron dye, and the iron dye activates whatever it is, and then you get a much deeper green. So the two greens there are just quite pronounced. Buckthorn changes its intensity based on what leaves you have, time of year, all that kind of stuff. Buckthorn is a really versatile item. Bark, leaves, berries, you can dye the whole thing. There might be marigold in this. That might be a marigold, I'm not sure. I said sumac. This was probably just a boiled book. So this would have been like an iron dye. What else? It's not all of the dyeing that I do. I have a dye book that I did last year that I completely forgot about. And then I was cleaning and I went, oh yeah, I did a thing. So use that as my base, wove it all up, and then she has, because all stitchers want to see the back, this really interesting way of basting. And so basically that is stitch up and then 2 or 3 stitches down, put it down. And so you are basically doing this kind of motion. You are doing a back hook, very much like turkey work, where you are using a reverse stitch to do the anchor, or reverse direction. So this is the first time. I've never seen it done by anybody because I'm not really I don't follow a lot of stitchers, but it's the first time I've seen her do it. And I was watching her do the Boro. She's doing a Boro book, I think. And I was doing something else completely different. And as I was watching her, I just subconsciously started doing the stitch that she was doing. I was working on some freeform stuff, and it's like, ooh, this is nice. I like this a lot. So it is likely to be part of my core, my core work, my core stitch repertoire. A lot of hangy threads. We're gonna have to get over some of that because the whole point is to have all of the ripped raw edges available to see. Then once I got it all basted, then I thought to myself, well, how am I going to then embellish it somehow? I thought of I have threads that are dyed in this color, and then I thought, that's all going to be very bland. It's all going to be very of a kind, and there isn't going to be any contrast. So I thought of like a fuchsia, which is this, as being a great color to use, but then I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I thought maybe of doing like rose like that. Not so much. I thought of doing maybe some kind of center point. Not really. And so I ended up doing some cross stitches across the where the sort of the weave points, the warp and the weft intersect, and anchor that down. So I've got everything done except for and so I thought this was finished, and then I realized that I didn't do the end point. So this will be a fairly short video. Well, we say that now. It's going to be a short video. How long could it possibly take to do this many X's? Well, it depends entirely on how much knotty you get. So I'm certain that if you are an embroiderer, you know this trick, but if you are new to embroidery, this is an embroidery thread that is cut to length. I want a single strand, and this is done single strand very specifically because I wanted a lightness to the color. I didn't want it particularly dominant. This, I think, has the perfect amount of balance between the color and the strength, the width. If I had done it that way, that's going to be a little bit too, you see this more than the weave, and I wanted to be able to see both. Back to what we were talking about, I want a single thread out of this, and so you basically separate, you sort of pinch lightly, and then you pull, and it will come. Just like that. And then it'll all undo, and you sort of let it unfurl itself, if you know what I mean, because you're sort of messing with the twist. And then do the same here. There we are. My nose is still running. Not ideal, but we can cope. And oh, here it is. Here's my needle. I really enjoy this channel, which is new to me, K3N Cloth Tales. She just talks as she sews or she embroiders, and I just really, really love her conversation. She calls it wittering on. So I think she is originally from the UK and then moved to France, and I think she has a horse farm. Because how ideal is that as a lifestyle? So I am just going to start somewhere. Do I want to do that corner? Probably should do that corner. These are just basic cross stitches. Oh, I forgot my thimble. Oh well. I'm not making any particular plans about how I do this stitch. I feel like I should move this or I should move myself. That's the easier thing, because I want to pull the material closer to me, and it's no fun to just hear somebody talk about stitching when you can't see them actually do the stitching. So I think all will be revealed with what I end up doing with this, which is, I think, part of the fun and magic about sewing things. I think the stuff itself will suggest what I want to do. It has a lovely hand feel, this piece. The material is particularly soft and lovely. This piece of fabric and some of these, I bought material a very, very long time ago to make a dress out of. And I partially made the dress. It never happened. That's totally okay. And then I was wondering what to do. I was going to throw the dress out, but I bought the material because I loved it so much. And then I thought, oh, I can't throw that out. And I kept it and kept it and kept it. And then I was looking for, oh, I need something to dye on. And I went, ooh, I wonder if that would work. And I am so sad I don't have 100 bolts of it, because it's just so beautiful to dye with. And there's our little sage, a little piece of sage. Oops. Ah, nuts. It was all going well. There we are. And I'm going to keep the hanging off bits for a bit as well, because again, I don't know what the final application is going to be, where it's going to land, how it's going to look, and so I might need those bits or not. And if it's easier to keep them and then cut them off than to cut them off and go, oh, I needed those. And it also makes sure that I keep them with the piece as well. Oops, my actual finger. And I'm realizing as I am doing this that the avid cross stitcher would want very much for all of the cross stitches to be crossed in the same way. And I can almost guarantee that that is not the case. Having said that, with this lightness, I don't think it matters. There we are. The back is quite pretty too. There, and I'm just going to lightly bite into the back. Come on. Here we are, it's better. Just make sure. Nope. How's that? Yep, that'll work. One of the things I love seeing with stitchers on the internet is how they keep their thread. And I keep mine with I found the shape on the internet as a paper bobbin, and I just cut it out with whatever available cardboard it is I had available, and I have loads of this shape. And that's what I do to wrap my thread. Lots of people have lots of different ideas. I'm going to do the side. And, ooh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be weird because I've gone off the edge here. Okay, well, we'll see what we get. This is how it would go. Oops. You would plunk it down there. And you would come up using that space. There is no fabric there, but that's all right. Not too hard so you mess it up. Here we are. Just like that. The other thing that I didn't do, that I probably should have, but I was so excited to get a start, is do an iron on the pieces of fabric, because there's bits like this just gonna make me nuts. But maybe we'll iron it afterwards. Or we will keep it rustic. Oops, that's a little bit too much tension. Oops. So this strip here isn't dyed at all, and I really like that I included an undyed piece. As a sort of a, I don't know, more contrast? More artistic commentary? I don't know. Maybe just too lazy to find another piece of dyed material. How are we doing back here? Yeah, it's really tricky to have not an anchor sheet here. So I need to make sure my tension doesn't make it all go gollywampus. There. Oops. Ah. There. And then one more that's a 3. It goes this way. Yep. It's going to go that way, then it's going to go that way. And then it's going to go that way. It's going to be slightly weird, but oh no, they all come out as X's, even the corners. That's fun. I didn't think that was going to happen. Here we are. Oops. me do a snippy snip. Here we are. That goes over to there. The red's done. Oh, I don't have to make it. And so there is week 1. It needs a press, it really does. That's gonna make me nuts. I'm gonna get rid of that. There. There. Okay, so week 1 done in the books. And this has been an episode of K3N's 2024 Stitch Along, week 1. Thanks so much for joining, and I will see you all soon. Bye now.